That's why we're here to sing football. Sunday in the snow, referees whistle blows. Weekend warriors toe to toe. Football. The old timers, do you remember the names like Bronco Nagurski and Night Train Lane? Bulldog Turner, my man Sam Huff, in the snow and the mud, they were still real tough. Crazy Legs Hirsch, and remember Raymond Berry asked me if they hit hard, and I'll say very. Paul, Christian, Bunny, Young Lady Moore, it's them I adore, they seem to always score. Ed Sprinkle, defensive end for those years. Gene Big Daddy Lipton was the man to fear. You have Steve Van Buren and Otto Graham. Johnny Unitas had the arm of a Superman. We had Charlie Trippy and Gino Marquette. If you're searching for a champion, they're your best bet. Wish I could quarterback like Johnny Lou Jack or even Sid Luppin, as a matter of fact. Remember Red Brand Warriors?
It won't be difficult.
So I want to welcome everyone to another episode of Anger Management's Real Shit Talking. This is Sasha D with Aaron and Richard, where we bring insights to talking sports and trying to keep the anger down to a minimum. The key word is trying. How's everybody feeling today? Football season is back. Oh my God!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the sport of kings, better than diamond rings. Football. Yeah.
Man, that needs to be a theme song right there.
Hey, I
for
sing,
this
I
show
sing it all
right
the
here.
time.
You
I
just
sing it all the time, bro.
that definitely needs to be the intro song right there.
I will. Just for that, I'm gonna make that the intro song, guys. Hey, I'm sitting here listening. I don't know what's going on, but the dome is the Superdome is going crazy right now. So I'm assuming LSU must be pouncing all over FSU, Florida State right now.
Opposite.
No, actually, I got the game on right now. It's 7-3 Florida State's up, and
okay.
LSU got the ball back on their own, pretty much close to goal line, but looks like they're getting close to a first down on the 18.
They just got sacked right there just now.
Yeah. So
mine must be behind right now a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, you must be on your smart TV where we got like about a 2-minute delay.
Oh no, I got it on the computer right here. So yeah, there is a delay. When I get it on the TV, it's pretty much lined up.
So guys, what was did you guys have any surprises for last week's game? From not last week, because last week it was just last week's games. It just seemed like it was just like a filler. Like, okay, we have some games coming up. So let's talk about this week's games. Were there any surprises that came your way that you were just excited, like you were just surprised, like, oh my God, this happened? Outside of Virginia Tech losing, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to leave that one alone. But any other surprises that you guys want to talk about?
Go ahead, sir.
No, you got it. You move your mouth first.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, really, as far as with all the games, there are, a bunch of really badass games. Really, the big surprise is Utah losing to Florida 29-26, because I was kind of hoping before college football really gets fucked up with all the realignment and stuff and how they're going to handle that, I was hoping that, Utah would be the Pac-12's last hope of having a really good, solid team, because they've been kind of, having them as the dark horse, the possible could sneak in there into the playoffs and everything. And they had a, really good year last year.
Oregon laid an egg.
But with Oregon, I'm sorry, getting that quarterback from Auburn, Bo Nix, he was not good. He's not good.
He wasn't.
Right?
He wasn't.
And
he's not built for that. He's not built for that system.
No, not at all. Horrible fit. But I mean, really, besides the Utah one, of course, Oregon getting smashed, which is, oh well, don't really care about them. Never really ever take them seriously.
Yeah, I stopped caring about them after that Marcus Mariota's team. I thought that they've just been nothing but they've been a joke to me. I don't care for them.
Dixon for me.
Oh, we going there. I had hope because they started, remember around after that they started bringing in those recruits, and everything. They started competing with everyone, winning the Pac-10, and they just needed to get over the hump. And then they finally got there with that Marcus Mariota led team, got to national championship, and got blasted by Ohio State. That's why, like, I can't cut for y'all anymore.
No.
I mean, they've had some decent teams, but just can never put it together, and couldn't really take them seriously.
What about you?
Man, you know what? Surprise game. There was a couple surprise games for me. UTSA at Houston was actually a pretty good game.
That was
a good game.
And actually, I mean, it was going back and forth. I thought UTSA was going to pull it out, man. But I mean, hey, it's all right. You know, go Road Runners. You know, I'm always about anything Texas, but Houston too. You know, good. Daniel Holgerson, like, oh my goodness, he's ready to bite somebody's head off, man. I know if I could be. I don't know if I can be coached under him, man. That's that. He sounds like he saved nigga a lot.
he was at West Virginia. So I mean, now that you think about it,
But there was one other game that was actually pretty decent. Oh man, I lost it. No, but it was. I mean, any kind of football you see, like right at this point of year, it's awesome. You know, of course, you know, Horns hook them. Like I said, we're gonna be all right. Next year, the next week might be we might get ran through. We might get ran through next week, but that's fine. You know, your first year quarterback. You know, new system, freshman lineman, and against the best power that's ever been established. So we'll see what happens.
But you see, the thing I kind of noticed. One more, Aaron. I just want to say everybody was talking about one thing, everything, but y'all forget about that Ohio State Notre Dame game. Everybody was predicting a blowout.
We were.
And Notre Dame actually hung with Ohio State. They
had them in the first half. First half, they was like, Notre Dame could go ahead and take them, and then after that, they just fell apart in the second.
Depth started to become a factor. But no, that's what just came back to my head. That North Carolina and Appalachian. Why does Appalachian? They always find a way. They always find a way to make it hard.
You couldn't walk away for nothing, even during the commercial, because you would have been afraid the score happened. It was going back and forth.
After the dude picked up the onside kick and scored a touchdown, I said, game over. I didn't know he scored another touchdown. I turned it off.
Like 3 plays. Boom, 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 touchdown. You're like, wait, what? And then, oh boy, missing the 2-point conversion, the first one. Guy was so wide open.
It was both their fault. He should have kept on running, and he shouldn't have been. His eyes shouldn't have got too big. I mean, that was wide open. That
and the second one, that one was the second 2-point conversion. He had a receiver open, but he was already in I'm going to run it in mode. And the linebacker's like, nope.
I'm tired of this. Hey, man, while I'm looking at this halftime show, watching Dan Mullins doing a halftime, he should be coaching somewhere. That was a big. How did that happen? How do you go from Mississippi State and then with no talent and get a little bit of talent, and go to Florida and lay an egg like Gators do, lay the egg?
I don't know. You know, you would think that when you with the name Florida, you can at least get some recruits, and you can at least do something there. That's just like
it's not like how it used to be. It's not like how it used to be, man.
That's crazy.
Wasn't that like Florida State? Like you would think that with Florida State when Taggart took over and how they were just looking all horrible and everything, getting blasted by a bunch of SWAC teams, FBS schools and everything.
FAMU.
Beautiful. Let me also mention about another game that was really, really, really good. But 2 things happened: East Carolina versus NC State.
Oh, that was
and NC State escaped that because East Carolina late in the fourth quarter they scored a touchdown, and then the kicker missed the extra point, so they're down. So East Carolina they put it on their defense, or no, as a matter of fact, they got an interception, and then they went ahead and got into field goal position. It was like 18 seconds left, and they had to literally sprint off the field and have the field goal team come on there and everything. Everything was set up perfectly. He wide left that one, and lost that game because I know also NC State's one of those teams where people are kind of putting them in the dark horse position to win the ACC and everything like that, and they look sloppy out there. They should have lost that.
I was watching that game before I had to go tuxedo shopping. So when I saw that, so I'll talk to y'all about that. I'll send y'all a text about that. But I'm gonna look pretty sharp, man. I'm gonna look pretty sharp. Y'all go. I'll show you guys how I'm gonna look.
Casket sharp, not quite casket sharp, but sharp.
Yeah, we're not gonna go casket sharp, no. But
hey, do I need to get a Big Boy and Andre 3000 and well, I would say rest in peace, but
nah, we're not gonna go. I'm not gonna go.
So they could go ahead and
play your
sing
part.
to you.
Play your part.
Play your part.
There y'all go. No, I'm not going there just yet. I'm not going there, guys.
Okay, just give us a call, if that's the case, We'll go ahead and get them to save you.
I will do that. I know y'all got the number right there.
But Jackson, do you see what Jackson State just did to Florida A&M?
No, what was the score?
49-3. 59-3.
Dang.
Boy. And they got the number one quarterback in the nation, that Dion stole that got Nick Saban all mad.
Yeah, Nick Saban mad. And then Deion Sanders had to fire back like, really, coach?
out of everybody.
Yeah.
Kettle, pot. Shut up.
So guys, now I know that these games, it seemed like we were just so excited because again, football started, but the season, do you have any expectations going in there? Like Aaron, I gotta ask you this. Do you have, even though that Miami beat Bethune-Cookman 70 to whatever, do you have any high expectations for the Hurricanes? Do you have any predictions going into this in this college season?
I mean, honestly, with Miami, I can't really predict. I mean, off of this game in general, but I do know that the one thing I kind of really didn't like about them during the game was that they were rotating defensive players in and out like it was a freaking free haircut, day, pretty much. Just revolving door, just in and out like in the first half. Second half, it kind of died down a bit, but it was, kind of confusing why they were doing that, allowing, Cookman to pretty much move down the field a little bit. But, I mean, overall, the offense looked good, but it's too early to tell, man. It's really too early. I know in a couple of weeks they got to go to College Station and play the Maggies, and so that'll be their real test right there as far as to see if they got a chance or if they're legit or anything like that. I mean, I do really like Van Dyke as our quarterback. He's finally a quarterback that's got some toughness in him. He's not fearful. He got a really good deep ball, got touch on his everything. And if he needs to run, he can run a little bit, just enough. So I really like him. But until we play Texas A&M, not sure yet.
Okay, Richard. And I know that you said something about this. We talked about this earlier. UT playing Alabama this Saturday. Now I know that you're hey, this is a young team coming into this, but what do you expect? Let's just talk football.
Do you want to know what I expect? I expect Quinn Ewers to throw 3 interceptions. I expect Hudson Card to throw 1. I expect the defense to let at least 3 passes get over the top of them, I expect our defensive ends to get sucked in, and then a reverse go behind them or something. It's not polished yet. Alabama's polished. We're not. We're nowhere. We're still getting molded. We're
Mhm.
not. We're nowhere near the polish.
Yeah.
Granted, we have weapons. So if they keep it within 3 touchdowns with Alabama, I'll be happy with it
Mhm.
personally, because it's you have to be realistic. You have to know, like, hey, we're gonna have a true freshman going against a Heisman contender defensive end. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be real. So I mean, he's gonna get beat, and trial by fire. I'm okay with that. But I
Mhm.
mean, if I'm looking at the schedule, I mean, after that, I mean, UTSA, yeah, they're going to try to have something to prove, but no. Tech, no, we got Tech. West Virginia, they've proven already they're probably not going to be very much of a contender. OU's always a game, but I'm not. I watched them the other day. They took them kind of slow to take off. Iowa State, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's always pretty good. So I say all the way through Oklahoma State. I'd see maybe 3 losses, maybe 3. Alabama, OU, Oklahoma State. I think we can, and then maybe we slip up against Baylor. But
Mhm.
everything else, I mean, I see us being in the Big 12 championship. Now I might be a little over my skis. I might be drinking what they say here in Austin, the orange Kool-Aid. But I'm just saying, man. It's just like from the weapons I've seen, I see that we do have. I tell you what I didn't like. When Ewers did get his opportunity to when he started the game. Well, the first play, Bijan had like a 6-yard run. Then they tried to take a shot, should have been picked. Then he do another one, ill-advised, was picked. I was like, and I was like, well, maybe that's exactly why Coach Sarkisian was like, man, I'm not ready to name a starter yet because I'm not
Right.
sure when is it. But you know how big money donors do down in Austin. Hey, why are we paying this boy and he ain't on the field? All these NIL deals. No, if you gonna get all these NIL deals, they're gonna want you on the field, and then they pull strings to get you there. Say, hey, that boy, the other boy, he was nice, he had a chance, but that's another thing I want to talk about. We'll come back to that later. But anyways, yeah, man, they'll be all right. No, while I'm already here, I'm sorry, I'm sorry,
Go
I'm already
ahead.
here.
You might as well. Go
Um,
ahead. Go ahead. Bring it up.
Nebraska last week, so Nebraska and Northwestern. Did y'all see
Oh,
that game last week?
yeah, I saw it.
Hmm.
Now they trying to blame a lot of that on Casey. Maybe 1 or 2 passes weren't great, but if the ball hits the receiver's hands, what's the number? You're a receiver, Sasha.
You got to
Ball
catch
touches
it.
your hands, got to catch it, right?
Right.
I saw 3 of them, and the last one that got intercepted went right through the receiver's hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, then so I mean, I don't want him to get that stigma, because that's what ran him out of here. It's just he wasn't terrible. Like
Right.
we were up 28 against OU. You're not a bad quarterback if you do that. You're pretty decent.
Yeah.
But I don't like people getting raw deals, and it's starting to look like he's going to get one. I hope it doesn't happen to him.
Well, real quick, one thing about me is that I don't like to give, like you said, I don't give somebody the raw deal. If it's a situation like you said, if a wide receiver drops a pass or it's a tip ball, that's not the quarterback's fault. It's a good read.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's their fault. You don't want to just throw this or blame this on the quarterback. Like, I think me and Aaron, we were talking about in the first preseason game because I was listening to the Minnesota sports radio, and they were saying Jordan Love sucks because he threw 3 interceptions against the Niners. But yet 2 of those interceptions were actually pretty good, were not his fault.
Mm-hmm.
One was a tip ball. Another one was just The ball was just taken away from the receiver, and they're sitting there, calling him out because well, he threw 3 interceptions. No, actually, yeah, there are 3 interceptions, but those weren't his. They weren't like Brett Favre just throwing the ball there, just trying to force the ball and the defense picks it off or anything.
Yep.
So
Right.
I'm just not a big fan of stuff like that. But I watched that game, and I watched that Northwestern game, and I know that they won this past week, but I think that they did have a chance to pull it off and erase that how they just can never your boys
Win the close game.
win the close games. Aaron,
I mean, he's about to lose his job. No, he is. He's gonna lose his job.
He blew it.
Shit.
Yeah, he basically blew it. I mean, that's pretty much, that was he lost his job type of game right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of also piggybacking on another good game, the Pittsburgh West Virginia game.
Oh yeah,
that one was
game.
They're very good back and forth. And watching that game more, even though the Northwestern Nebraska game was exciting, watching the Pittsburgh West Virginia game, that game right there just defined college football. The whole crowd was singing along, room for their team. The other team would score. The whole stadium would go quiet, and then you could hear the one West Virginia section cheering their asses off, like it was the whole stadium. And everybody else is just like looking all depressed, doing the classics so I can get on TV. Oh my God, what happened? Type of stance and everything. But, watching that game right there, it was a great back and forth game. And then also Purdue and Penn State, which was also really,
too.
Yeah, down to the wire type of thing and everything. And yeah, it was just, just the fact that college football is back. It's great. It's lovely. I love college football just as much as I do the NFL. And I'll continue to say the whole realignment and all of that crap makes it sad going forward. But this is the beauty of it. And I know Richard was talking about, Texas possibly, getting ransacked by Alabama. But the beauty of college football is you never know. You never. Those moments happen.
Hey, Aaron, you want to know something? And I don't think on this, but that West Virginia and Pitt game, those are 2 USC transferred quarterbacks going up against each other, and it was a pretty good game. Because I like Keaton Slovis. I'm a big Keaton Slovis fan. And I'm glad that he's getting this chance to really resurrect himself and hope. And I don't think he's going to be a first-round pick. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to be a first-round pick. But I think going to Pitt, he's going to be somewhere. And your boy JT Daniels, he's been in a really shitty situation since he didn't took his spot. He went to Georgia. That's it, took his spot, and now he's in West Virginia. So it's something to see this.
He's another Bo Nix.
Oh no, I take Sullivan over Bo Nix any day of the week, man. Because Bo Nix,
not Sullivan. Old buddy from West Virginia.
JT Daniels?
No.
Yeah, JT Daniels.
Sorry, not Sullivan. But yeah, Daniels. I take Daniels over Nix. I take anybody right now over Nix. I take anybody right now. I'll take a 7th grader over Nix right now.
They say this Vince Young got some more eligibility left.
Man, I was kind of shocked.
I take Joe Namath right now over Bo Nix.
Get your Medicare now.
Shit.
The defense like, oh, he got Medicare? All right, we can do whatever we want to him. He'll be taken care of.
So guys, I know that you guys know that college football they're expanding the playoffs. Not a good
Yep.
thing or a bad thing to you guys.
Great.
It's a great thing if the format of college football was staying as it is.
Hmm.
And the only reason why I say that is that with them moving to these big divisions in the Big Ten and then with the SEC, that's all it's going to be is schools from there. To where it's like
Yep.
this would have gave the whoever won the Big 12, the Pac-12, the Big Ten, the conference champions. You put them in there, then you can have
Automatic
the
bids.
other, involve other divisions or whatever. I don't care if Texas State wins the Sun Belt. If they win that mess and they got like a undefeated, or if their one loss was against a quality team, throw them in the mix too. You
Don't say
won your
Texas
conference
State.
championship. I'm just saying. I'm using them as an example. I know that ain't ever gonna happen. Yeah, there's no way in hell that would ever happen. But it would give more schools, especially smaller schools, the opportunity. That classic when Boise State played Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, and everybody's like, once that game ended, it's like, hey, we need to go to a playoff format. We need to give the Boise States a chance. We need to give the Houstons or the smaller schools a chance to do this. This would have been perfect, but it's a little too late, in my opinion.
Aaron, Richard.
You know what I mean? I agree with everything he said. I mean, why do they do everything so backwards? That is, I mean, that's okay. First, we had a system that computers told us who's the best. So the computers told us, like, even though our own eye see is what year was that? Like one team like was OU or someone just got like jumped over or something like that. Even though I hated OU, but it's like they got screwed over and got like I don't know what year that was, but you go from BCS and you go to a 4-team playoff, and you already know 2 teams coming from the SEC automatically. So whoever else goes undefeated out of what I guess it always ends up being. What out of all these years, Notre Dame's been in it how many, like 4 or 5 times in the college playoff?
Yeah.
You get a Notre Dame, you got an independent, you got an independent. So what? Then what? You'll get every once in a while you get a Oregon. They get ran through the first, or I mean, it makes sense to go more because you know that. Most of the time we talk on Monday, following Monday, like, oh, they shouldn't have been that damn game anyways. Well, if we go more teams, yeah, it's good. But if you're going super conferences, once again, 4 teams, SEC, 4 teams, Big Ten, and then the rest of 4 teams, all right, we'll just cherry pick and see who's good enough. And that's not good.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way because, with me and Aaron, when we talked about this, I'm not a big fan of the one. It's always like the super conferences or the mega conferences or whatever whatever they're going to be calling these with all these 14 teams. It's like like how are you going to pick these teams? How are you going to pick the teams? How are you going to justify this? Think about it. Even though, and let's just go ahead and speak hypothetically and say that there is a team like Cincinnati, like last year, and they get blasted by Alabama. But Richard, you said it best. At least they have a chance. Don't just say they just can't play, but at least, hey, they earned the right to play in the playoffs. They get blasted. They did what they had to do. They went undefeated by their schedule. Or something like that, because I was just always thinking about that, like how certain teams always get jumped. You'll have a team like, I believe you guys just said, Notre Dame is always in the title hunt. They can be a 1-loss team, but then there'll be an undefeated team from
Utah or something like that.
Yeah, Utah State or something, and they win convincingly, but yet they're not there because, again, I always think it's all about the money and how many people are going to travel and the merchandise and shit like that.
And
So
then also, if you think about it,
yeah,
and I'm sorry to interrupt real quick, Sasha.
go ahead.
Also, one thing to really think about is that with the 12 team playoff, especially these smaller schools,
Hmm.
that would have they would have to get together and be like, look, hey, if we really want a chance to move up into this top 12, whether we win our division or not, or get a higher seed, we need to play Florida State. We need to play a Florida. We need to really put that strength in our schedule. So if we go ahead and we beat these certain teams, we may not be in the top six power conferences, but you're gonna have to throw us in that seventh spot. Or maybe that sixth team, that team that won the Pac-12, granted their schedule wasn't strong, but we
Hmm.
beat a number so and so ranked Florida. We beat a number so and so ranked North Carolina. So it would give them an opportunity to call up and have better games. I think better games will really occur if this format was happening, you know, 10 years ago or 15 years ago. You would have better games, a lot more high profile games, because those, or even if a team, let's say, even if a team from the SEC doesn't make it, they make it to the SEC championship game and they lose. But let's say they had a better out of conference record against teams, maybe they would, I don't know off the top of my head how many, power, Division 1A conferences they are currently, but it would give them hey, that 12th spot. Hey, we beat so and so neutral field game. We beat them the first game. They were ranked so and so. We should
Right.
be able to slide in that last spot. So I think this came a little too late than what it should have.
It came a little bit too late. I'll say it like this because I'm always middle of the road when it comes to stuff like this. I think that it's pretty much all about that people that they're more of they did this because of the public. We're gonna okay, we'll expand it because you guys are begging for it. But in the same breath, I think that this shit should have been done. I wasn't a big fan of the BCS
Mm-mm.
because again, like what Richard was saying, the computers. Yeah, well, Nebraska is good enough to play in the national championship game, even though that they didn't win their conference. But we'll put them in there, and they'll play the number one ranked team, Miami, and then that's what we'll do. Man, come on, And then the BCS, I thought that was stupid. So I mean, this playoffs, I think it's needed, but I think that this should have been done a long time ago. But again, the bowls are big money things.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the money. I'm going to say this no matter what. College football is the biggest pimp of all
Sure.
time for these college students.
And now they're mad because
Yes.
they say, I want my money out too, baby. Daddy, I want my money too.
Yeah.
And now the parents get mad. Like, oh, now you trying to get paid? No, you staying here with me, oh. No, come on, man. Don't work that way. Come on, man. It's crap. That ain't that
but,
crazy.
but and Deion Sanders said this best though. It's like, you know what? Yeah, these kids want to get these NIL deals. That's cool, but you need to come in here and be a football player. Don't come in here if you get signed up for this, how much, and this and that, and all of this and that, and then you go come up here with the little, bitchy ass bratty attitude. Like, hell no. I'll cut your ass and you go live off of your NIL deal, but you ain't playing no football.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll take that deal.
Right? So, guys, the NFL season is kicking off on Thursday as the Buffalo Bills will be playing the punk ass Los Angeles Rams. Sorry. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to try to, whenever we talk about them from this point on, because I hate the Rams. So I'm going to try to keep it PG. Fuck them.
Aaron Donald's going to come get you. Aaron Donald's going to swing a helmet at you. Watch out.
So, are you guys excited about the NFL season? What do you guys have some expectations? Give me some expectation. What do you guys think of the upcoming season?
Tom Brady going to be Tom Brady. Cowboys going to disappoint everyone like they always do. Lovie Smith is going to look lost and flustered. What else? Actually, you know what? I have high hopes for Russell Wilson.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't I don't want John Elway to get another championship, but but I don't mind him getting away from Pete Carroll and say, hey, I can do this without you. So that's my
Yeah.
I wish him the best. But I mean, what I want to see this year, I want to see I want to see a reemergence of the fullback. That's what I want to see this year. I want to see the fullback come back, and so that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to see if we can have a real fullback just getting it done.
And they
So
do have a fullback. His name is Karl Juszczyk.
It's the only
I
one.
mean, I mean,
they,
I guess
they
so,
haven't
man. I
mentioned
mean,
another fullback in like 5 years.
I know, man.
Lorenzo Neal.
It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. I miss it so much. I miss seeing ISOs. I miss seeing lead blocks. I miss seeing the little floods, and then I miss seeing the Michael Scott just running somebody over. I miss seeing
Oh,
that.
Michael Scott. That dude
Dang,
was so exciting to watch. Man.
dang, I'm just kind of shocked at that guy. You guys talking about Mike Allstott, him and I'm about to say Warwick Davis, Warwick Dunn. That was the backfield. What about you?
That wasn't fair.
What about you, Aaron?
I mean, overall in football, I mean, basically AFC West is going to be exciting as hell to watch, and I want to laugh at the team that wins 10 to 11 games but still miss the playoffs for whatever reason or finishes last.
Mm,
It'll be interesting to see as far as if Buffalo can finally circle the wagons and get there and win the whole thing finally. If Josh Allen can really, I mean, he's already up there, but for him to really take that lead and get a chip for them, Miami, I don't think Tua has it, so that's just going to be frustrating right there. As far as like with Indianapolis, quietly, if Matt Ryan can game manage on that team, he's not someone that does a lot of stupid mistakes. He makes his mistakes, but if he can get solid offensive line play, Taylor plays the way that he did last year, and they got a defense. They have a defense. Seeing how far they could possibly go. Pittsburgh, Pickett, kind of curious to see how he would do with that team. And then, of course, over in the NFC, and also, I'm sorry, in the AFC, Bengals, see if they could get back. I know there wasn't a lot of fanfare for Mr. Richard with Joe Burrow, but I mean, in a football sense, it was cool to see Cincinnati, go back, and the fact that Burrow was able to get him there, being sacked 500 times last year. And he's still able to walk after tearing both freaking, what is it, MCL, ACLs, whatever, anything with the CL on it in his leg.
yeah.
Pretty much got destroyed. Yeah. And so it'll be curious to see if they could possibly get back. NFC-wise, of course, I'm going to enjoy, me and Sasha go to really, really enjoy watching Dallas, basically F themselves again and have to hear every excuse in the book from Jerry Jones about, why they suck. Philadelphia, it's Philly's the win if Jalen Hurts can step up, and he was all right last year, but let's see if he can really take that step. Curious to see how he'll do.
Mm-hmm.
I know I don't believe in him, but shit happens, 2 years ago, if you would have said Josh Allen, he's going to develop into an MVP caliber quarterback, they would have been, motherfucker, please, come on now. Have you seen the way this fool's been playing? And then all of a sudden, he jumps. So you got that.
One good season. One good season. It won't happen
He
again.
said two. He said two.
Yeah, he's had two good. Josh Allen's had two good.
His last 2 seasons. It'll be funny to see pretty much Aaron Rodgers throwing to bank clerks and people that work at the convenience stores as wide receivers this year. So it'll be funny. It'll be good to see them falter. But I have a feeling that either one of the rookies and Lazard are going to turn into 100 catch, 1,500-yard receivers with 15 to 16 touchdowns, because it always seems to happen. Minnesota, interesting, but we know how Kirk Cousins is, and if they had a better if they had a Matt Ryan in Minnesota, that would be clean right there. But Dalvin Cook's guaranteed to get injured. Jefferson's still ball out. Cousins will give you average enough stuff, but not seriously.
I think Dalvin Cook is going to get pissed off and going to want to leave.
I'm surprised he's still there. I'm honestly surprised he's still there. But he still be putting up productive numbers.
Yeah.
As with Brady, Brady's gonna Brady. Tampa Bay, they'll be up there. I mean, he'll probably throw for 6,000 yards and 58 touchdowns this year. Because his situations at home got him all fueled up. And then in the NFC West, I'm hoping Trey Lance. We'll see what you can do. That's all I can say about that. The Rams, I hope they falter, but they'll probably still be in the mix. And Arizona ain't got to worry about them because second half of the season they always fall apart. And with Seattle, fuck them. But other than that, I mean, it's going to be a great football season. I think there's going to be a lot of strong teams, especially coming out of the AFC, and then just basically seeing who's going to be team number 2 and team number 3 in the NFC. I mean, you can switch either Tampa Bay or Los Angeles in either one of those spots, or basically you call them 1 and 2. But as far as the third, fourth team that could really challenge them, it'll be interesting to see.
Well, Aaron, before I go on my rant, I'm going to say this right now. You said something about Miami, and you disagree with. You say you don't believe in Tua.
I don't. And
I'm going to say right now, me and you, we don't disagree that much, but I'm going to disagree with you right here, and I'm going to explain to you right now why.
Okay.
Mike McDaniels, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, was a former 49er head offensive coordinator. Now, the thing is with him, he put Jimmy G in position not to mess up. Miami's in the same it's pretty much the same thing. They got a strong running game. You got Raheem Mostert. You got they also got 2 other good running backs over there. Then also you got 2 good wide receivers out there, and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Good tight end. Pretty good defense, and okay offense. They're not going to have your boy Tua sending the ball 60 yards down the field all the time, but they're going to put him in position to use those weapons so he can look good.
Is this the same Tua who got replaced with Jalen Hurts in the national championship game?
I think Tua replaced Jalen Hurts, not.
I thought he saved him one time too.
No, in the SEC
national championship game.
SEC
no, it was national championship and against Georgia.
Yeah, no. So I remember in the SEC championship game, Jalen replaced Tua, but in the national championship game, Tua replaced Jalen.
Okay. Well, you're getting what I'm getting at, though.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick should still be back there.
Big ass gnome.
I take it you don't like Tua all that much, huh?
I see overrated. Like, once again, you came from Alabama. You had everyone to throw to. Just throw it out in front. They're outrunning everybody. So when you get to someone who now you're in the league right now, and the receiver, the DB's recovering receivers just as fast, and the defensive tackle who's chasing you down is faster than you. Yeah, it gets a little difficult.
And he's injury prone.
Yeah.
He's a little fragile. So you get a good decent knock on him. He's snapping. And then who's their backup?
Broke his nose or something? Did he break his nose? What was it a couple years ago? Like he broke his nose in the game or something like that, and he looked messed up bad too. I forgot what that was, but his helmet came off or something.
I'm trying to remember that, but Aaron, to answer your question, it's Teddy B. My boy Teddy Bridgewater is his backup.
Oh, he'll be starting by game week 4.
Yeah.
Boy,
it's like we want to give a hug to Teddy B, but it's like
we do. Go ahead, son. We appreciate what you did. We appreciate you for what you did. Go ahead.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah, you keep getting them backup checks. Keep getting them backup checks. Have that Ryan Fitzpatrick career.
Colt McCoy,
please do. Colt McCoy still doing it.
And is he still playing?
Yeah, he's backing up
in Arizona.
Murray. Yeah.
Because I thought Trace McSorley was there. Because every game I saw, but he's
I think he is. Yeah, I think he is.
He's third string. I think that fool needs a shot. I think that fool deserves a shot.
Yeah, you were a big Trace McSorley fan coming out.
Penn State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had he's tough. He's a tough quarterback. He can make. I saw one pass. It was, and I'm sorry to steer off here. Saw one pass in the Rose Bowl when they were playing against USC, and he was going to the sidelines, and he threw, as he was about to step out, he threw a bullet straight down the line to his receiver to catch a tippy toe, like Santonio Holmes in the Super Bowl, like type catch in the Rose Bowl, and I was like, my goodness. I mean, the defender was right here. He probably had about this much to throw on, and he just threw a straight bullet to him. And I was just like, this kid needs, and it's, not going to say I haven't watched him other times, not just going off of one pass, but I think he's a really tough quarterback, tough quarterback that he's the type that if you're down, he's going to fight to get you back into the game or at least win it.
So, Aaron, if I remember in that Rose Bowl game you're talking about, wasn't that the same game where Sam Darnold came back, led them back to a comeback win? Because they could, wasn't that the same game?
Yeah, Sorley doesn't play defense.
Okay. Wasn't that the same game where Saquon Barkley was just killing USC?
Oh, that was a man-child when he was in college, man.
Yeah.
That dude's legs were huge.
All right, to the pros, he basically got paper clips for legs.
Yeah, and you say who's injury prone? I don't think Saquon is injury prone. I think he just doesn't want to be in New York anymore. I mean, you're like, man, why am I here? I'm injured. Please don't pick up my option. Just let me go.
I don't blame him. I mean, regardless of how everybody loves, New York's such a big market, blah, 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 blah. Y'all got some sorry-ass teams all around sports. All around.
Yankees are the only saving grace for New York.
Don't choke.
The Mets are on top of the
Mets are good.
Yeah.
Mets are good. Okay, I'm saying in general, bringing the chips back to the state. Yeah, they just don't do it there. Not since the Yankees were good.
Aaron, when we did our last episode, I'm having a hard time downloading it, so that's why I only got that little clip of you on your rant about LeBron James, and we had a message. And let me try to pull up this message while we're talking about this. But it seemed like you have somebody said that you don't bring facts to the table, and you're such a LeBron James hater. And as a matter of fact, I think my nephew and I know it is. This is from my nephew, so I'm not going to act like I don't know this. But he was pretty much saying that you don't bring facts to the table. Okay. What are your thoughts about this whole thing? What do you want to say about this thing about LeBron James?
And Richard, to answer your question, yes, I did peek at him earlier, so I did kind of have an idea what he was talking about.
Okay.
So now, just to respond to answer one of his questions, or one of them that he had listed, where he had said that old Bronny only had one friend down in Miami. When I had made the statement about him bitching about wanting to have his decision and take his talents down to South Beach. Now, on that, Chris Bosh signed with Miami before LeBron made his decision. That's one thing. Two, they were on the Olympic team beforehand. You don't think they weren't in their hotel rooms? Having the blank, making a little pillow fort and everything like that. Got their flashlight as a fire. Eating their little Lunchables and everything, and giggling, talking about, if we join forces, we can win not one, not two, not three. All their gazillion championships and everything like that. So, for one, he wasn't boys like he was with Dwayne Wade, but this is not to say that they weren't friends. So, as far as him going down there, yeah, those are his buddies. He's telling them, they're all giggling on the phone, all happy, and everything like that before he goes to Miami. So that was one of his, issues with my LeBron hatred statement. Right. And then the other thing was about how Michael Jordan basically went to go play baseball because of gambling. And that's not to say that that's not true, because I honestly believe he had to leave the NBA because due to the fact of the gambling that he was doing over there and in Vegas was with people that had a certain occupation in which if they don't get their money, they're going to handle things. And I actually, unfortunately, think it's conspiracy theory. It could be completely wrong. I'm not saying it's all facts with this, but that situation happened, which which forced them basically to quit basketball and to go into play minor league baseball. So I understand that part, and I didn't mention that because of the fact that if I was to say that outright, at me and certain people watch a video, that can cause a whole bunch of static that we don't need.
Right.
Whether it's an opinion or not, because in this day or age, you say one little thing and God bless America, that'll, you're not going to get a drip in the sink, you're going to get a waterfall. You don't, as TLC said, don't go chase them. Do not chase those waterfalls. So,
don't creep. Creep.
But yes, that's another big message, right?
Right.
But yeah, as far as with LeBron James, and I'm gonna say this, I'm taking off my hatred for the man. As far as a basketball player, as far as what he does family wise and all of that, kudos to him. Things that he does off the court, kudos for him. I will say that. But as a basketball player, that is a very disturbing picture. Yeah. Oh God! I need some darker. I need to go burn my eyes.
Hey, that's what I had that years ago when they played the Spurs. Like, nope.
Oh, what the hell? Oh my God!
You go to the game and have that picture up because
oh my oh, because I have mine on that speaker view. So when Richard starts talking. Oh my God!
And that's a good thing. Now, Sasha, you're traumatized after seeing that shit. Bless them there.
All right, I'll change.
God bless you, really?
My bad. Okay. Sorry,
because I couldn't keep a straight face.
I can't.
After seeing that mess, man, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I don't like LeBron James much myself either. So
yeah, but seriously, back to my point. My thing with LeBron James is, again, and I'll state this, and I'm man enough to say it, and he's one of the all-time greats. You could easily put him in your top 5. You could easily have him in your top 10, your top 6, your top 2, your top 3. It's your choice. You can have him in your top whatever. To me, he's an all-time great. He's on that list. I cannot knock what the man has done as far as, being a scorer, rebounder, assist, racking up the assists and everything like that, and winning his championships, going to the finals 9 years in a row. Can't knock that as far as what he has done. Now, just because something is great, someone is great, or just in general, there's flaws. There's flaws, about Michael Jordan. Not just off the court, but there's flaws about his game that you can nitpick about, and I can if I wanted to. There's things about LeBron James that could sit there and nitpick and everything, and all the wrongs that he's done. And normally, when you talk about LeBron James, you always compare him to Michael Jordan. And growing up, seeing Jordan play for the most part of his career, 88 on. And then, seeing LeBron from the game against the Kings, his very first game, I remember seeing on the 4-letter network, on to currently rotting my team to death. I'd take Jordan in a heartbeat over LeBron James any day of the week. If I needed a player on my team to win a game, it's Michael Jordan. To me, LeBron James, as great as he is, comparing to what Michael Jordan did at his time to what LeBron's doing now, to me, the NBA is weaker. Granted, yeah, they do depend a lot more on the 3-point shot, but as far as, the value of the big man, the, positions in general, like a team like with Golden State, they have their players that know what to do. And they do it well. That's why they won the championship. Nowadays, a lot more teams, it's a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into detail. But I think what Jordan accomplished and what Jordan did is a lot more valuable than what LeBron's done. If you give Jordan that longevity, is how long LeBron James has played, Jordan would have Jerry Rice records and over the whole NBA, and LeBron would still be catching up with him. He could probably play another 4 years and still wouldn't catch up to Jordan, because Jordan was that all around offense, defense, scared the shit out of his teammates to play better, but they did. And not only does he have moments, but when it came down to it, he didn't win all the time, but for the majority part of it, when it came down to it, Jordan would get it done. To me,
Man,
I don't see
Kobe's
that.
Kobe's more of a Jordan than me, though. Kobe's more Jordan than LeBron. I see it more with Kobe. Kobe was the Black Mamba. He was a finisher. There's a 10-minute clip of him just finishing games. He's a closer, just like Jordan was. Hey,
You
LeBron.
can't get that with LeBron.
What does LeBron do? Throw it away. I don't want the closing shot. I want the last shot. So it's all mentality. It's mentality. LeBron, yes, great player, strong player, fast player, one of the best specimens we've seen play basketball ever. He doesn't have the killer mentality. Mike had it. I'll even fucking say Tim Duncan had it more than LeBron has it.
Silent version of it. He didn't have to say shit, and he would get it done. Jordan is the complete opposite. He's going to let you know then some and more. You stalk you, kidnap your family, pour freaking gasoline on, say, if you don't get me 15 points off the bench, I'm killing all of these motherfuckers. That's what Jordan would do. But yeah,
punch his own teammates in the face.
Exactly.
You said Tim Duncan. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Tim Duncan wouldn't have to say anything. He just looks at you in that same look, and you knew that you had to do that shit. He's probably high off his ass when he looked at you because he has the same look all the fucking time. fuck.
And kissing off the glass every time. Kissing off the glass.
So damn good. He was
Oh my
so
goodness.
damn good. Too damn good. But yeah, as Richard was saying, LeBron doesn't have that killer mentality. He doesn't. I mean, he had his moments. I'm not saying that he hadn't had his games. The game against Detroit, where he took, that game against Detroit, where he basically scored every damn point in the fourth quarter. No, it was like his first run with Cleveland.
Playoffs. When they went to the finals.
When they went to the finals, he scored every point in the quarter and in overtime. But he took over that game. And that's when you kind of had that, oh shit, is this going to be that guy? Is he going to be it?
Mm-hmm.
He had that. He's taken the weakest team ever to the NBA Finals that got swept by San Antonio. It was amazing that they got past Detroit. I mean, he's had his moment. He had 2 strong peak years in Miami when they won back-to-back. So he's had that. He went back to Cleveland. He had the amazing moment, the 3-1 against Golden State, which people can argue Golden State lost that, or the fact that Cleveland came back, they fought, and they won it. He's done that. And those moments right there, that to me defines him. Besides his longevity and his accomplishments, that defines him right there. And with Jordan, take your pick. Shrug, game 6, the shot, flu game, 6 threes in 1.5. I mean, hell, won North Carolina national championship game winner, 63 against Boston in the playoffs. I mean, you could just roll that off your tongue. And it's not just those moments, but you watch Jordan play, and it was just like, fuck. It's not to say LeBron doesn't have those moments where he makes you go, damn, he's fucking killing it out there. But with Jordan, you're just like, every night, it's going to get you those points. Every night, he's going to play defense. LeBron James, to me, is a very weak defender. Yeah, he's had his chase down blocks. He's
lazy.
Blocks.
He's not weak. He's lazy. There's a difference.
Thank you.
He's lazy. He'll sit there pushing the player out there to go do it.
I'm trying to be fair because I don't want to make someone or some people, upset or cry or, anything like that. So I'm trying to be fair. He's
you know what, Aaron? I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to be the complete opposite. You know what? LeBron James, just like you said, he's in my top 10. But he's only in my top 10 because of his accomplishments and what he's done in the league. And yeah, that's just it. But my top 10 is full of guys and winners who don't cry and bitch and complain about what I don't have. You said this before, and I've always felt this way. And if you are great, because you know what, we were spoiled. And I know, Richard, you're younger than us. But when we were growing up, we were watching a bunch of great teams, like the Indiana Pacers going up against the dreaded New York Knicks, or the Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs, Portland Trailblazers, those teams, the Seattle Supersonics. We're watching those guys, and when they lose, they lose. You don't hear Reggie Miller when they lost to the Knicks. Man, I'm going to call Spike Lee and see if they can go ahead and get with James Dolan and see if they can work a trade so I can go and play there because I'm getting work. No, Reggie would go over there, and he stayed all his whole career in Indiana.
It didn't that sucks, man. That sucks for Reggie.
And he only had one.
And the crazy.
Yeah, go ahead.
The crazy thing was during that basically the Lakers called him, see if he want to go over there with Kobe.
Really?
To play.
Yeah,
and he was like, nope. No. He was like, nope. Didn't want to do it. With Kobe and Shaq and
pride thing. Loyalty and pride. Hey, I don't need anybody else. Hey, my team's all right. We good. I mean, if it wasn't for the malice in the palace, they probably would have won that season.
They wouldn't do this. No. I like it when players are like, you know what? I want to beat you to be great. If I can't, I'm going to find a way how to beat you.
Most sports are like that now. They're too friendly. There's no I'm going in here to rip your fucking heart out. Eat it in
When it
front
happens,
of
they call
you,
you thug.
and then watch.
The last time you saw that, think about it. The last time you saw that, it was Odell Beckham and Josh Norman. Like they hated each other, but that's what football used to be.
Yes, and that is why
That's
I
why
love
there's no
football so
rivalries.
much. Yes, I
That's
love
why
the
there's no
rivalry.
rivalry.
17-3, Florida State.
Okay. I'm over here on CBS Sports, and I guess I haven't updated yet. But yeah, that's when I loved it. You know, when I started, because I'll let it be known, I hate ESPN. But I remember, I want to say it was 10. Correct me if I'm wrong, Richard, because you'll probably know this. When they did College Game Day did something. They did a sit down with Colt McCoy and Sam Bradford, and then they
It sounds familiar.
and then they played ping pong together. And I'm over here.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And I'm sitting here looking at this like, this is a heated rivalry. Oklahoma.
This paddle at your face.
Yeah. Why are you having the 2-star quarterbacks playing ping pong with each other? This is a heated rivalry. I can tell you right now, everybody who I know, anybody from Texas hates Oklahoma. I heard a story of this one guy saying he didn't want to be on a flight that flew over Oklahoma because he hated it that much. But you're having these guys portray like they're being friendly. And then you hear, oh, now we're going to go on rivalries right now. Then I hear shit like about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, one of the most best rivalries of all. Bullshit! That was a friendly two people just dueling. They didn't hate each other. That wasn't a rivalry. They were just two of the greats playing. They liked each other. I'm thinking Dallas, San Francisco type, or Dallas, Washington rivalry. They hate each other.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Huh?
Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Or even early on, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I mean, that was probably the last bit of, they wanted to basically kill each other. And that's the sad thing that unfortunately the younger generation doesn't really get a chance to experience as much, to where, like I said, late 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, there were rivalries. These are players that wanted to. Jordan with the Bulls, he went through shit and hell with that team until they drafted, got better, won championships. Same thing, I mean, with the exception, like with Los Angeles is always how they've been because they got Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But they drafted Magic Johnson and Cooper and Worthy and all of them. They built, they stayed, they dominated, they won. You had players even over in New Jersey, even in, Milwaukee, I mean, hell, Denver, all these places, they're like, hey, I'm the star. This is my team. We're fucking going to, fight for the championship this year. Barkley stayed on those bad 76er teams, but still always felt that he had a chance. It was terrible. I mean, Stockton and Malone, as much as I could not stand the motherfuckers, and I do not like Karl Malone for personal reasons, not basketball related.
I know. I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat.
But we're right there. But yeah, they fought. They fought every year. Even San Antonio, fought every year. There wasn't this, hey, we're buddy. I mean, I missed one of the great stories, Hakeem Olajuwon. Second year, after defending their championship, they're going up against San Antonio in the playoffs. Hakeem had just about a better year than he had last year. He was the defending MVP. And so he sees David Robinson getting that trophy. Everybody on that Houston team, they said they looked at Hakeem and they knew right there that Robinson was fucked. And Hakeem owned him that series.
David Robinson's on a lot of people's highlight reels, man. David Robinson's on a lot of people's highlight reels.
Oh man, Shaquille,
He's right.
Punch on him, and the All-Star game down here in San Antonio. That's bad.
That was horrible. That was horrible. But I mean, you had teams, you had the rivalries, and this goes on in all sports. I'm talking about there used to just be rivalries, and you had players that if they were buddy, you didn't know about that till 20 years after the player retired, and you read, oh, so-and-so used to go golfing with so-and-so? I could never see that shit. I mean, he elbowed him in the face and gave him concussions and stitches all day left and right. But they were buddies outside in the off-season. They did that shit in the off-season. Of course, then there was no Twitter or Instagram or none of that shit. Bleacher reports of, or I'm going to tweet this pinwheel emoji. Oh shit, what does that mean? Does he want to go to Indiana and form a super team with so-and-so and so-and-so because he put two pinwheels and it goes into win and it's right next to fucking Chicago and it's sad.
It is sad.
And
imagine,
that's why
imagine Twitter was around with the Cocaine Cowboys.
Oh Lord.
Boy, shut Twitter down.
boy, man, they wouldn't have been able to hide anything.
Mike,
Nope.
Mike, just Mike, big eyes all the time. Mike, get the ball, Troy.
But this is, I guess this goes back to what I was saying about the thing about with LeBron James about this. I respect what he's done and all his accomplishments. But unfortunately, if you ask me who my top four, because I've gotten into this argument with my brothers, and I told them Jordan, Magic, Bird, and Duncan. Those are my top four. Because again, they're assassins, they're killers. LeBron, I think he's more accomplished. Sometimes I think he's more manufactured to be great. Like they do everything they can to keep up his stature. To be like, oh yeah, he's been to the finals for 9 straight years in a row. And I'm thinking, yeah, but
nobody has made more shots while being blindfolded, looking backwards, and also wearing one sock. I mean, shut up.
Say nobody cares. Hell, because if you really look at it, I mean, nitpicking, if they want to call it that, but it's facts.
Right.
That and if you don't believe that, go back and watch the film. I remember watching these games and everything like that. With his first championship against Oklahoma City, that's when Westbrook really became Westbrook. I'm gonna take over. Even though I know that my teammate is one of the top 3 or 4 players in the NBA. Because if you look at that series, Westbrook took over. Westbrook was scoring a lot of points, but he felt like, oh, I need to take it. And Durant's like, dude, I can shoot from anywhere on the fucking court. Give me the ball. And then also you saw Harden, when Harden was basically took over Manu Ginobili's soul, times that by 100, and shot himself up with cocaine and adrenaline and was just fucking killing it. But in that finals, there was one play, again, I hate to go to that, but they got a steal. He got a steal, had a wide open layup, and completely missed it. And you're just like, who the fuck is this guy?
I'm mad about that game. The whole series, man. Like, they blew up a whole team. They were right there. They were right there. They blew up the whole damn team. Oh, that was so upsetting to see that, man.
That helped fuck up the NBA right there. But really so you got that. So and those games were close. They weren't complete blowouts. I think it was game 5 that was the blowout, but all the other games were close. So okay, got his one championship from that one. The Thunder really could have pushed him. And then about the second championship. Yeah, Ray saved them. Saved them from that. And that's not and that's not knocking what LeBron did in that series, because in that game 6, he balled out on that. And he did have a strong series. But Ray saved him for that. And then of course they still had a game 7 and Miami won that.
He did take over down the stretch in game 7.
Yeah. And so, but again, that's one situation that saved his butt for a championship right there. Again, I'm not going to take away what he did, Cleveland and Golden State. That was amazing. I'll give him that, even though you can make the argument that Golden State lost that. It's like Draymond Green and Bogart or Andrew, Andrew Bogart, whatever you want to pronounce his name. Bogut, yeah. But then that's when you got to look at, all right, MVP, you naming this stuff. Can you give us one good game? Can you hit us a 40 spot? Play, just run around and just touch the ball, just shoot. Can y'all do that? Clay, you name this MVP? Just shoot from half court all game. I don't care. Just can you give me something? Because he never had one of those, those blowout, 45, 50 points he can't miss, no one can guard him type moments. And then Clay, did show up, as much as he could have in the series. He didn't have a Clay game, basically. So, all right, came back for that. I don't count that bubble shit championship in LA. That shit, nobody really cared who won that championship.
No. I don't even know if anybody talks about it.
No.
No.
If it only
and also to note that's two of his championships have been in strike shortened seasons, because that Oklahoma City one was in a strike shortened season also. So that's that kind of you can throw two asterisks on that one right there. I mean, so like you said, Sasha, his accomplishments are amazing, and he should be praised for that. As far as him being the best of all time, or people wanting to crown him that, versus Jordan, the one thing that I always loved about Jordan was that Jordan knew he was the best in the fucking NBA. He never had to say it out loud to not where people could hear him. In the interviews, he knew what to say, and he said, famously, I know I'm not the best, even though he was. But all he cares about is winning championships, winning. That's all he cares about. But then you have Mr. That comeback against Golden State, that makes me the greatest of all time.
Yeah, whatever. So
go bring in Magic Johnson, bring in Larry Bird, bring in Isaiah Thomas, bring in Tim Duncan, bring all of them in, and bring Mike. If he decides he wants to show up, I'm pretty sure he would, just for the hell of it. But bring all of them in, and you tell them to each of their faces that made you the greatest of all time. And once they do that, then you go back and sit at the kiddie table while the big grown folks at the grown-up table go ahead and set your ass straight as far as,
eat your hot dogs while we eat our steak. Shut up.
Exactly. You know what? Come here. Let me cut those up for you real quick, and give you a little bit of ketchup.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question real quick while we're on basketball. What's the better shot that you were like? What's the better shot? Was it Ray Allen's shot better, or was it the Sean Elliott?
I'm gonna go with Sean Elliott's, because
I don't know that Ray Wade was just
it was money. It was the thing with Ray Allen was he was just sitting there. The Spurs were too busy trying to get the rebound. They passed it to him. Ray Allen is money from over there in the corner. Yep. So that was a nice.
Ray had to go back, turn around, set himself, and shoot that.
But
Ray wasn't just sitting there.
Sean was about to go out of bounds, though. Sean was on his tippy toes when he went.
He was on his tippy toes.
When he was on his tippy toes.
You put a card under his heels.
He got it.
But then again, you got a finals game versus a Western Conference finals game. And if the Spurs would have lost that game, they would have came back and won that series.
I don't know, because
Portland was happy. Portland was tough.
Was that David Stoudemire?
Yeah.
David Stoudemire and Rasheed Wallace. I don't know, man.
No, because
Brian Grant, and they still had Sabonis. They had a tough team, but not a team that was gonna it was tough at the beginning of the series, and then of course after that shot, I mean, basically the tires,
Come
air
on, they're like, man,
deflated, but
they're like,
still.
some roaches like, man, we can't put these kids away. Like, dang, we're tired. We're just going to go out there. I mean, okay, then let's try. Okay, you think, okay, well, since we're going to go with shots, do you think that Derek Fisher shot or Ray Ray's?
Oh my, Derek Fisher. That's it, Derek Fisher. Oh my Lord, that broke my heart, bro. That broke my heart. I think that broke my heart more than Ray Allen's did.
That made me go outside and say, "Fuck you, San Antonio!" Come on, that's Fisher all day, every day. They figured they didn't need to. That shot right there, hands down.
Probably the best of all time. Probably the best of all time.
Yeah. So yeah, I was gonna do that. So I just want to let you know right now, the person who made the comment, it was Point of View Productions. He was all over our message board, even though we don't have a lot, but it felt good seeing that somebody.
Moving on up, guys.
We have a fan. We have a fan.
And he was like saying, "Hey, let me at him. He was talking about Aaron. Man, let me at him. He don't know anything."
LeBron, we can talk. We can talk. We can chat. He can say, "I get on my knees on Jordan all day. You know what? That's your opinion.
Don't say that.
It really doesn't bother me." Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He can say I hate LeBron all day. Just the fact that I love him much, and that makes him unhappy, and that's fine. And it's opinion. But you can't say that I don't spit facts on it because I've seen both play. I'm not going off. I've seen one play, but highlights and thinking. But I've seen LeBron. He beat Boston with Wade, his super friend, and Bosh, who was not his friend, but I guess later became his friend or whatever, and all of that, and had to leave Cleveland and do a decision and say he's a villain and promise 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 championships, and then go back home to Cleveland like he went to college, and nobody ever saw that as an issue, him going to Miami and back to Cleveland, and then he had to tell them to trade Wiggins to go ahead and get Kevin Love because he didn't believe in the kid and everything like that, and then get 1 ring out of 4 matchups against Golden State, and then bitch and whine that he wants to go to LA to go make movies, and then go there and put out some sorry ass Space Jam 2 bullshit and win a bubble championship, and now all he does is bitch and whine and bitch and whine and bitch and whine. You didn't hear that shit from Jordan. And it's facts. You can watch YouTube on that shit all day. He didn't need to flex every time he did something or do his little whatever shit that he does or pound his chest and
got football players doing it. I see football players doing it. Come on with that, man.
Everybody's got to celebrate over one thing, get a yard and start pounding their chest. I'm like,
no. That's why I tell my kids, hey, if I see y'all celebrate, that'll be the last time y'all do it on my field. It's Westlake. It's Westlake.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Kendall because when he said that when I went and picked him up because I'm sorry, I was not going to go out to Westlake. I was not
lost like that. Yeah, understand, smart man.
but yeah,
save my gas.
Yeah, they lost. I told Kendall, don't let them embarrass you. And he's like, yeah, we only lost by 2 scores. I'm like, okay, well. And then they came down here and just worked them 47 to 14. Like, yeah, they scored like in the third quarter. Like, who cares about the third quarter? They was already up 44-7. And y'all want to sit here like, yeah, they scored. Yeah, we got excited about that. Like, they didn't even care.
Well, y'all get a win this week.
No, don't say y'all. Hold on, whoa. Don't say y'all. I don't claim Judson. I claim Kendall Robinson. Fuck Judson. I think my son.
Andy, hearing this? What's going on?
I don't like Judson. I will never.
Really?
That's cool. I could care less about Judson.
Really? We're gonna talk about that later. What's that about?
Let me add fuck Judson also.
Thank you.
All right. Is Judson the Westlake of the area?
I went to Roosevelt. Roosevelt and Judson were rivals.
Okay.
So it just goes to my. It's just my dinner, and
you didn't hear.
I don't play. I'm sorry. I don't play this ESPN friendly rivalry BS bullshit. And I'm not an old man. Y'all say whatever you want. I hate the school. I will have Alzheimer's, and I will hate Judson as much as I hate the Cowboys.
No, I feel you. I feel the same. I feel the same way. I feel the same way about Westwood and Pflugerville. So I understand.
Now, Sasha, I had said earlier, fuck Roosevelt because
yeah, you did. Yeah, he slid that in there. You didn't hear. He slid that in there real smooth, like.
you were in major ranting mode, so I slid that in there.
Oh, you were better off just not telling me that you said.
Where'd you go, Aaron? Where'd you go?
I don't claim this school. I'm not one of those motherfuckers, but I went to James Madison. Madison High School. Madison High School off Stall Road in San Antonio.
Oh, you went to Madison. All this time I did not. Oh no! Why did you said fuck Roosevelt? I can't believe I'm friends.
in this no more podcast.
You know what?
Come back, Sasha.
I'm retired,
You're
man.
out of the wedding. You're out of the wedding.
You know what? I'm crashing that bitch.
You gonna have your Madison shirt on too and everything, huh?
I'll find my old football jersey. I'll go up in that bitch. Nah, I hate Judson just because I played a little bit of football until I got injured. But when I went, that Judson was the school. They were defending state champions. They were powerhouses back then. And the one game that I did get a chance to play them or whatever, I pretty much got injured in that game too, so I never got a chance to finish, and I was upset. So, but yeah, Judson would always run us every damn year.
Yeah, my brother played Judson growing up when we went to Round Rock, so I knew from the jump that Judson. All right, sounds good.
Okay, but I'll remind you guys. So next Tuesday, I'd say next Tuesday at 8:00, 7:30 to 8:00. Let's go ahead and let's do another show where we can just sit back and talk about the college games, and talk about other college games also, the pro games also, and any news that may have came up. We can talk about that shit also, and if anybody else wants, if anything else came up also, and it's good talking with y'all though, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's always fun, always an adventure.
Oh yes, it is. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool until I found out my punk ass friend went to fucking Madison.
Yeah, y'all play.
Glad I can make your day.
Y'all play nice. Y'all play nice.
No, he went.
Hey, if you want something better else to think about, just think of the LeBron shirtless photo from earlier. Let that go. Be back to your mind. If you want to feel better, Sasha, okay?
All right, guys. I want to thank everyone for watching another episode of Anger Management. This is Sasha, this is Aaron and Richard. Follow us on our social media. We're going to put that in the description box. Y'all have a good night. All right, then, brothers. Have a good night, man.
Safe. And hook 'em, baby.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Big Daddy, listen was the man to fear. You have Steve Van Buren and Otto Graham. Johnny Unitas had the arm of a Superman. We had Charlie Trippy.